Advice on relationships is really tricky. It's really, really tricky to find good advice on relationships because every relationship is different because each person is unique. This relationship is very different than this relationship, which is very different than this relationship, which is very different than this relationship. Now, if you're not familiar with what that is, those are called composite charts. They take your body graph and somebody else's body graph and they show you the overlap. It's like a Venn diagram for your aura. When you realize how accurate the information is in these composite charts, you're not going to take relationship advice from anyone else because you're not going to need it. Now, I do offer relationship readings as a professional service, but I'd love to just teach you how to read this yourself. Just stick with me in this video. Life is like this. You've got the pressure to think and the pressure to do. The pressure to do is making its way in the form of stress through all of these different centers. There's your solar plexus, your celiac ganglia, your spleen, your immune system, your sexual creative energy, your heart, your ego, and your sense of self or direction or your soul. That's going up towards your throat for manifestation. This is the pressure to think, ideas, inspiration moving its way through your mind and on its way to manifestation. When you are with somebody else, this is me and my partner, certain channels form as a result of your overlay. One of the reasons my relationship is so damn healthy is because we have 7 electromagnetic channels. This is where she's got one part and I've got the other part. Now, these are points of chemistry or conflict. This is places where we more or less complete a channel. For instance, this one right here. I'm bringing the pressure to move us forward. My partner is bringing the awareness of how we can move forward. I'm bringing the desire or the will to be first. She's bringing the innocence that makes sure we show up in the right way and initiate the right things. I'm bringing the voice to express the details. She's bringing the anxiety to find the details. So those are electromagnetic channels, and those are potentials for chemistry and conflict, not chemistry and conflict, but it's great to know where you can look. Next, we have the dominant channels, which is basically just where one person, see how this one's all yellow, has that channel. That's going to be an area where it's very consistent, the energy there. And that one in particular is the channel of judgment. So I can either try and fight my partner's judgments and try and change who she is or learn to accept them. Now, for the other two, I'm going to have to go to another chart because we don't have any compromise channels or companionship channels. Compromise channels are one where both of us have one gate, but only one of us has the other gate. That one is right here. My daughter Aurora has the 2212. I have the 22. I have to compromise here. This is openness. This is caution. I'm going to have to compromise what I think Venus should be cautious about. I'm going to have my own ideas about what she should be cautious about, but so is she. I see this one as a point of friction for a lot of relationship readings that I do. Typically, the person with the compromise, the person with half the gate, feels really insecure about letting go and not being hurt in this specific area. And they will often hyper-focus on this specific area. When if you just look at your design, it's like, oh, that's part of our design. Let me learn how to compromise here. It's not that they don't respect me, they're not listening to me, or they don't hear me. They just have a way of doing things. And the last type is going to be the friendship channels. This is where both people have the same channel, which means they're looking for the same thing or they're filtering life in the same way. In this particular instance, this is the channel of judgment, which is about improving things in the process through sharing their judgments. This is a projected channel, so it works best when it's invited. But these two people are both in their own way looking to advance humanity through the raising of collective standards by calling out the things that are not right in the world. They're going to understand each other. They're going to get each other. They're going to relate. There's going to be friendship. There's going to be companionship. Because yes, we both care about that a lot. Now, literally, that is just one dynamic. That is the way that the channels and the composites can overlay. But there are so many ways that this can be helpful in your relationship. So again, if you're taking relationship advice from anybody, especially somebody online, remember, their advice is going to be flavored by this. And they're going to be projecting upon you their memories of the flavor of this, of their relationships in their life. It doesn't mean that the advice won't be good. It just might not be accurate for the situation that you're in. We are inherently attracted to the things that we don't have. But then a lot of relationship advice has us thinking that we need to be the same. So it's really silly because if you kind of just think about it critically for a second, it's kind of stupid. Listen to this. Oh, I love you so much because you're super spontaneous and I'm super routine. But I want you to be more routine. What? I thought you liked that they're spontaneous. Ultimately, this all boils back down to, do you know yourself? How well do you know yourself? And not just do you know yourself from I think I know who I am, but do you know yourself from I can feel who I am? I can feel what happens to me when I'm under too much pressure. I know what too much pressure is. I know how to take accountability for myself when I am under too much pressure. These days, everybody has something to say about relationships, but very few people are actually looking at the building blocks of what makes a relationship and starting with themselves, which I highly recommend you do. As I said before, I do composite readings, so if you want my help with your relationship, feel free to find my calendar in the bio. And if you want to awaken a sensory sense of self, again, go beyond the thinking who you are and actually be able to feel who you are, come check out the archive.